Welcome back to the episode of my trading vlog. Some people are asking, hey, where you been? How you doing, man? And the answer is I'm doing great. I'm right here. I'm just not focusing on making videos very much right now. I'm doing more stuff with my saxophones and music than other things. And so, you know, there are sacrifices to be made. Maybe I'll put in like some music of me playing my sax. At any rate, let's get going. Talk about PLBY and GameStop and AMC stuff. Because that's typically what people want to hear about. Worry about that sitting on a stand. Okay, this is what my trading screen looks like most of the day. I was like, I'm not even gonna like cut the screen, trim the screen. Let's just show what I've got going on. This is what I'm looking at on a daily basis all the time. It's PLBY, PLBY. You can see here we've been bumping up against a downtrend for quite a while. I'm gonna pump out some more time here so we can come back. Big bottom structure coming in at the end of 2023, 2024 starting out strong, and we've been watching the price kind of move sideways. This overall still looks pretty, I want to say, bullish, honestly. Of course, you zoom out, you'll see that the price was like $60 several years ago, and of course, now it's not. So bullish is relative, right? We've broken a big downtrend. Price has been grinding sideways ever since, and this to me looks like it's creating what's called a complicated correction. It's a 335 in Elliott waveform analysis. Essentially, we're watching the prices bounce around a whole bunch before it makes a very large move on a very large time frame. I've been kind of following this. It's like almost like a falling wedge, a triangle of sorts. Really, what I'm following is wave C. We're bouncing through a bunch of different zones of support and resistance. And today we ended on a green candle, which is nice, coming up just about to touch that 50-period average before heading back down. This is okay. The MACD here is showing signs of bearish momentum waning. Of course, volume super low, right? This is a 30-period average volume here. This line that goes through these bars didn't hit above there today. Pretty low volume. Really what I want to see is news that the company has sold Honey Burdette. That is going to be everything for the breakout that will bring PLBY into a more, what I'm going to say is a realistic price range. You might notice I'm wearing the merch. I'm wearing a lot more PLBY merch these days. I actually like it quite a bit, so I've been buying it. It's kind of like when I traded AMC, I went to the movies a bunch, right? Speaking of which, let's go look at AMC. We never did get above 1188. Price has just kind of flailing wildly to the side. This is, I'm going to say it, this is a psychological thing. That's what this chart is it shows the psychology of a market. You've got big up, and then the very next day, you've got this big down, and then some grind, popping higher before it stays open, falling back down. The MACD here is actually still on the positive side of the indicator, so it's something to look out for. Even though we had a big red day, you still closed above the previous session. Technically, line chart, this will look a lot different. That looks a lot different, right? We might be saying, hey, we are in correction right now, and if you can get above this level up here at 685, then you'll be looking for a measured move up. Now, to get the price target, we have to find the bottom of this correction, which could be 261. I mean, it could be 261. Now, if you're super bullish, the 50% level is really what you're looking for. You're looking for 384, and maybe we've already hit that. Not quite. There could be some more grind through here to get that level. Of course, if we turn the candles on and we use like the entire price range here, it looks totally different. So you really got to ask yourself, how are you going to interpret this information? It's almost worthless. It's so over-exaggerated. And so if I'm going to assume that we've had the high and the low, I guess, and we're going to hit 50%, then we'll make a price target based off that, and we'll use this low. And we'll say, hey, maybe you close up at 10, 12, or 778. And that sounds dumb, right? Because you've already got a high on the intraday shown by the candle up at 1188. Best case scenario, I think, is you see something like this, and that doesn't make any sense. AMC, it's losing touch with reality, as is GameStop. This is being driven, of course, by social media posts, and that's really all anyone can know that they are, is that there are social media posts that are driving enthusiasm in a market. And this is what is happening, is you're having these big, huge spikes and then these massive sell-offs. Price here is unstable, completely unstable. This is not a healthy price structure. if I turn on the line chart, that kind of helps make some sense of it. Kind of. And I say kind of because it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It looks like I've got some drawings here on a very large time frame, so we're gonna back out here. We'll show like 10 years. This is what this chart's looking like right now. I decided that I wanted to do some Elliott waveform analysis through here and figure out what the count actually was now that we have some context for the correction cycle having ended. You can see price came up to what is now known as $87 and since languished and headed lower. And at some point, I knew it would turn around, not sure where, never really was able to tell where the bottom was, eventually just stopped following it because it was just heading down, down, down. We've had a big spike now. There's a downtrend through here, which broke, price returned to it, and has bounced from there. But guess what? This could easily be what we call an ABC correction, where you get like A, B, and C. If this thing heads lower tomorrow, then I'll be calling what's going to be bearish. And of course, a negative price target is never realistic, and so we're moving in degrees of amplitude. We'll use 50%, 1279. Coming up next, that's the bearish target if you pass below 1832. If price continues to skyrocket and move higher, which seems unlikely, some people believe that the less likely it is, that, well, that just makes it more likely it'll happen. That seems to be the logic online. Oh, it can't MOAS until no one's expecting it, right? Well, if this is the case and you get above 48.75, $57 is your first target, 80.94 is your second target. That is, of course, at an all-time high. Can it get there? I don't know, and I don't really care to trade it to find out. I just simply don't. I'm not into this. If you're trading on somebody else's trading, that's, I don't know, that seems not like a great idea. So you do you, whatever. I'm staying out of it. I sold out of the meme stocks a long time ago. I'm happy with PLBY fundamentally, where the company is turning around and such and is forecasting, and just makes sense to me. So that's where my money is. But you can see we've had a big ABC correction finally ending in the what is this, the $9 range after spiking to 87. That's a 90% correction. Yikes. That said, you know, we didn't completely retrace all of what may be considered wave one. Right? We don't actually lose the biggest uptrends, like, theoretically, until price passes below 68 cents. So theoretically, we can speculate that, yeah, we could step up again. But honestly, like, I'm not waiting. I'm not holding my breath for that. Not at all. Really not. Rather, I'm expecting this to come back down to 1279. And if we do get some sort of upward momentum, I think it's going to be over a very long time. If it is like truly MOAS, that will be brutally obvious in short order. What's more, PLBY below $1 is ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's wild. It makes perfect sense given that the company completely lost its way. But given that it's now corrected its past mistakes and is very shortly going to be caught up, let's say caught up with the times, it should be worth quite a bit more. I'm trying to go, I mean, realistically, I want to see 10 or 20x, like a 20 bagger. I think it's a 20 bagger, as they say, but I'll be happy to get like $2 out of PLBY, like, you know, PLBY at $2. I mean, realistically, it's not a lot to ask. A best case scenario, we come up here to this downtrend of towards $6, right? You know, like, it's really not crazy. Not crazy. Awesome. Not crazy. But also, we have to be patient and we have to wait, because this is not being fed by a massive pump and dump campaign on social media, which is why I like it too. That's why I like it a lot. Anyway, it's getting long, so I'm here. I'm happy. Having a good time. Doing sack stuff. Happy trading.